Calcium chloride right there, magnesium chloride right there. In order to distinguish the two, we actually got to look at it. So what's going on, everybody? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Welcome back to yet another video. Hope all of you guys are having a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at. You guys know the drill. Anyway, I'm actually sitting in the studio this fine Wednesday morning that I'm about to put this video out, and I'm drinking some Dunkin' Donuts coffee. A little unusual for me. Typically, I make the K-Cups, but what's nice about the Dunkin' Donuts coffee here, especially the black coffee, this is like 2 K-Cups in one, which is so good. Anyway, so for any of you guys who've been watching the channel over the last couple of years, you guys may notice that I put out a couple of videos talking about snow on the lawn. One of the things I briefly mentioned in those videos a little bit was road salt. I talked about one of my favorite options that you could use with regards to road salt. But what I've never really done is I've never really dove down deeper into the topic of road salt in and of itself, because there's so much to talk about, right? Road salt as a whole, is it good or bad? What types of products are being marketed to DIYers? And on top of that, would I recommend using road salt on a regular basis? That, my friends, fortunately, is going to be today. Road salt is what I would consider to be a gift and a curse to every professional and DIYer out there that uses it. It's a gift as it's able to instantly make parkways, walkways, driveways, streets, you name it, instantly safer for everyone to walk and drive on, which is a plus. However, if you either A, get the wrong product, or B, use the right product irresponsibly or incorrectly, you can hold the risk of damaging your concrete, and on top of that, possibly even your lawn and landscape that's nearby the edge of the concrete in which the salt is being applied. These road salts that I see being sold, these 3 road salts, I should say, that I see being sold are what I would consider to be the 3 C's. 3 products that contain chlorine in their chemical compounds: sodium chloride, calcium chloride, and magnesium chloride. These are the most common 3 that you're going to see at any big box store, or at least the most common 3 that most people are going to buy due to labeling. Okay, so sodium chloride, also known as rock salt, is by far the most popular amongst the 3 for DIYers, as it's fairly cheap, and on top of that, it's readily available. You could pretty much find it anywhere, whether it's at a big box store or not, and because of that, it immediately almost always gets the first pick from a novice DIYer in the beginning. Now, I know getting a quality road salt product at such an affordable price may sound too good to be true, and that's because it is. Sodium chloride just happens to be the absolute worst road salt you can get, and the reason that is number one, the melting point. This can only melt down to temperatures such as 30 to even 20 degrees. That's not even cold enough. If you live in an area like I do here in Northwest Indiana, we get temperatures down in the single digits, sometimes into the negatives. So immediately, if we get cooler than that, it's ineffective. I don't see any reason to buy it for that. And most importantly, from an environmental standpoint, it can also be very damaging to your concrete. If you apply this to your concrete, maybe you get a little heavy with it, you can risk a little bit of staining, a little bit of invasion. If it gets in your lawn, you may even risk potentially throwing off your soil pH, which can affect your lawn or any plants nearby. And because of that, that's more corrective work you may have to do in the springtime, which is never fun. So sodium chloride, all in all, cheap product, I would stay away from it. The next one being calcium chloride. So calcium chloride is the exact opposite of what the sodium chloride product is, as it's the most expensive out of the 3, and on top of that, it's also highly concentrated. The melting point for calcium chloride most of the time ranges from -20 to -25 degrees, which is great. If you live in a super cold climate, that's going to be great for you. It's going to melt the ice super fast. However, from an environmental standpoint, not the most friendly product. If you happen to accidentally track it in your house, let's just say it'll leave an ugly stain on your kitchen floor. You do not want to mess with this product if that's something that you can control. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the final one, and that is magnesium chloride. This one is actually my favorite because it's the most environmentally friendly choice out of the three. However, with a road salt that is a little more environmentally friendly towards dogs and kids like magnesium chloride, it does come with its downfall, like the lack of ability to melt at temperatures as low as -25, like the calcium chloride, right? So immediately that is a trade-off. But if you live in an area like I do here in Northwest Indiana, where we really don't even get that cold very often, we get like little tastes of winter here and there, in the single digits at most, right? Magnesium chloride, pet safe, kid safe, and on top of that, if you live in an area like I do where it doesn't get very cold, it's going to be the go-to product that you're going to want. Now, I will say this, if you live in a colder area and you really can't control that, calcium chloride will work fine. What I would just suggest to you guys is, number one, make sure you're safe with it, right? Make sure you wear gloves. Make sure you do that with all road salt, by the way. Make sure you wear your gloves. Make sure you keep your kids off the driveway for a little bit until it's done doing its job, and you should be okay.
Alright, so after a little bit of hunting, finally found it. As you can see, got a couple iterations of the same brand here, and this is one I've talked about before in my videos, and that is this Roadrunner stuff that they have here at Walmart. This is perfect. Now, one thing I want to point out to you guys, all these packages may look the same, but there's one thing to note, and that is the color. Green means magnesium chloride, whereas the red one over here is calcium chloride. Calcium chloride right there, magnesium chloride right there. You could probably tell I've talked about these before by Roadrunner. Super great salts, according to my buddy JC, the lawn care guy. If you want to subscribe to him, I'll link his channel up here and down below at some point. But as you can see, one of the things that's similar about these two that might cause a little confusion is they both have the Roadrunner on the front, hence the name Roadrunner, right? But in order to distinguish the two, we actually got to look at it. So right here, as you can see right off the bat, calcium chloride melts ice fast, melts down to negative 15 degrees. Whereas this one is magnesium chloride, pet friendly, melts to negative 15, natural product, safer for plants. Interesting. These two actually melt down to the same temperature here. As I read earlier, usually the calcium could go down to like negative 25, maybe it can. But for this one, they both can melt down to the same temperature. The only difference is this one's faster and this one's more environmentally friendly. So again, if you have those pets, this is going to be the better choice. Just got back from Walmart there to see if they had any salt. Fortunately, they did. They had two of which I was talking about in this video. Not the brand, but the ingredients within these multiple brands that all of these stores carry. In this case, they had calcium chloride and magnesium chloride. So real quick, I just wanted to take a second and preface the importance of this exercise that I just performed here, which was indeed reading the label. So as I talked about in this video, I told you what you need to get and why. In this case, the magnesium chloride, if you could opt toward that, that would be the better choice, especially if you have pets and children in the house. That's going to be your better bet. So what I want to preface here is it's very important to read the label when you get any sort of chemical like this, especially to melt ice on your driveway. So as we saw, the bags looked very similar at a first glance, which for any beginner, that can make them possibly pick up the wrong product. But when we get down deeper, we could see that the calcium chloride product is a little more red and straight to the point. It even gives you the bare to the bone facts on there with not a lot of color. Whereas the magnesium chloride product, that's the environmental product, it's a little more earthy, if you will, right? It's got a lot of blue and green earth tones on there. It's got some animations and cartoons of some funny looking animals. It's got the straight bare to the bone facts on the front of the label. It tells you, right? Pet friendly, environmentally safe, and it also tells you melts ice down to whatever degrees like we talked about in this video. So again, the idea here is it's very important that no matter what product you're picking up or no matter what brand you're picking up, make sure that you read the label on the product you're getting and make sure you get the right one, because no matter what store you go to, all these stores are going to have their own brands of road salt that they carry, and most of them, no matter how different the ingredients are, the labeling is going to look exactly the same, if not at least similar. So it's a good idea that you take a minute, look at the label, make sure you got the right product, and if you do that, you will be good to go. Oh guys, check this out. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but it's coming down pretty hard right now. Snow-wise, look at that. That's awesome. Hopefully this sticks around and goes into the night and we get a lot of snow in the next coming days, so I could finally review those snow blowers I've been telling you guys about. It's just a matter of Mother Nature taking its course, so bring on the snow! Woo!
Okay, so final verdict on road salt. Jake, do you recommend the use of road salt? My friends, the answer is no. Now, I will say this, road salt does have a time and a place. If you have friends, family coming over, you're in a pinch, maybe you had an ice storm, you got some ice on the driveway, yes, go ahead and throw down that road salt. However, the extensive use of road salt can be prevented or at least drastically reduced if you stay on top of your snow maintenance. If you get out there at least a couple hours after you get a snow, clear off that driveway in an instant, you will be just fine before all the heavy traffic happens. Which, by the way, quick little fact here, most of the reasons you get ice on your driveway is due to compaction. Driving and walking on it over time will create ice. So if you can clear the driveway before any of that heavy traffic happens, you should be okay for the most part. But if you need to use road salt, only use it when you need to and not when you don't. Be very conservative with it. About once or twice a year if you can help it, that would be great as far as using road salt. So that, my friends, in a nutshell, is the video for today. Hope you guys guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it. If you have any additional questions, leave those down below and I will get back to those as soon as I can. With that, I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. If I don't see you in the next video, you guys know the drill. Your lawns are gonna be dominated. See ya.